Donnie and Dolly. The team is supported by ableauctions.ca. Closing your business? We can help. And King of Floors, your vinyl, laminate, and engineered flooring superstore.
Presented by Able Auctions. If you have assets, inventory, or equipment you need to sell, email sales@ableauctions.ca. And King of Floors, your vinyl, laminate, and engineered flooring superstore. All of our guests on this Thursday brought to you by White Spot. And we thank them for helping us out. Welcome back, everybody. Joining us now, as always on a Thursday, is NHL Analyst John Shannon. How are you, sir?
Great, Donnie. Rick, how are you?
Great. John, I saw you, I believe, tweet about this. What do you think Brad Shaw is going to do for the Canucks coaching staff?
Well, I mean, you can even read it in Travis's comments about it. I think that, giving a really good, solid alternate voice is important for any head coach. I think that most coaches will probably agree with that. The other thing is this guy was a really good defenseman his whole playing career, starting at the OHL level and for his time in the NHL. But he's learned to be a great communicator. And you can see his fingerprints even over these Stanley Cup playoffs. When you think that Alex Pietrangelo grew as a player in St. Louis with Brad Shaw as an assistant coach. Seth Jones in Columbus. Zach Werenski in Columbus, where Brad is leaving. I think that they would rave about Brad Shaw the way Thatcher Demko has raved about Ian Clark. This guy is absolutely, I think, the best defenseman coach in the National Hockey League, and I think that that's right at the top of his resume.
Islanders over the, and well said, John, high praise. Islanders over the Bruins by a score of 6-2, so the Islanders knock off Boston in 6. Where would the Leafs be, John, if they kept Lou Lamoriello and didn't give that GM job to Kyle Dubas?
That's obviously here in Toronto, that has been a topic of discussion, A, since Kyle's team got eliminated, and B, since Lou's team kept winning. Mm-hmm. I'm not sure that I'm not sure that there's really a complete answer. We know that Austin Matthews would be here. We know that Mitch Marner would be here. We know that William Nylander would be here. I'm not sure if Lou was here, John Tavares would be here. Mm. Lou runs, and quite frankly, I'm not sure that they would have fired Mike Babcock. So there are enough bumps in the road between Lou's leaving and what's happened in the last couple of years in Toronto that there might just be too many curveballs to decide exactly what Lou would have done. The bottom line is that Lou started with a great foundation that Gar Snow had created on Long Island, and Gar Snow, for all his issues, had to deal with one of the wacko owners of all time in Charles Wong. And then the whole Brooklyn/Uniondale issue, but they drafted well. And what Lou has been able to do in bringing in a couple of the guys from the Devils at this deadline, by parting with Robin Lehner and bringing in Semyon Varlamov, by bringing in Jean-Gabriel Pajot from Ottawa at a trade, Lou started with a pretty good hand in Long Island, but he's done a marvelous job. I'm not discounting it. He's done a marvelous job. So I guess I would suppose the answer is that the Leafs might have won a playoff round. But at the same time, I think there are enough variables, both in Long Island or on Long Island and here in Toronto, that I don't think there's really a fair answer to give.
I know it's refurbished, but what do you think that old barn, the Nassau Coliseum, means to the Islanders, and how do they come close to emulating that in their new building?
Well, I guess their new building is spectacular. And what they may be changing the barn, but they're not changing their fans. Mm-hmm. And their fans have become absolutely top of the list when it comes to passion for their team. One of the things that really, in many ways, has happened there is, Rick, have you been to Uniondale?
No.
Okay, Donnie, you've been there,
I've
right?
been there, yep.
Okay, so you know how large that parking lot is.
Huge.
And they're going to go to the new place has got a big parking lot too because of the racetrack. These people have brought the football mentality to hockey. There's tailgaters all the time, and people have been celebrating Islander games this playoff year starting at noon, even on a work day. Mind you, you're working from home anyway, so you can probably do your work from the back of your car in the parking lot. So I think that these vocal fans are going to be at the new arena at Belmont Park as loud and as let's say refreshed as possible starting next year too. And it is certainly, I think, an advantage for the Islanders.
John, I'm looking at Dougie Hamilton today, was asked in Carolina about his contract. He's going to be the top UFA. I'm looking at Taylor Hall, 1 assist in that Islanders series. What's he going to get? It's a flat cap. They got to sign Pettersson and Hughes in Vancouver. What are you hearing about player salaries heading into free agency?
They're not going up.
Yep.
They're not going up.
Yeah.
Ryan Nugent-Hopkins in Edmonton's in the same boat, Rick.
Yep.
It's funny. The other thing you look at is you look at the trade deadline deals that were done. Other than the Islander acquisitions, and maybe David Savard in Tampa, but other than that, none of them have worked out really. None of them helped teams advance very far. Taylor Hall did not help the Bruins get past the Islanders. Jeff Carter, as good as he played, as well as he played, did not get the Penguins past the first round. Sam Bennett, who had a really good little stint in Florida, did not allow the Panthers to get past Tampa Bay in the first round. Makes you wonder a little bit still about trade deadline acquisitions, and you really have to pick and choose who you want. But listen, it's 81-5. Just remember 81-5, 81-5, 81-5. Because that's going to be the cap for, I think, at least 2 years, if not 3. And players who are free agents, their timing sucks. Yep. That's the reality. Their timing sucks. Ask Mike Hoffman.
Yep.
Mike Hoffman, who faced that issue last year, turned down a deal early, thought he could get more. The world fell apart, and he got a 1-year deal for $4 million. I think you're going to find guys that are going to take probably more term, less dollars for a bit of job security. But other than that, it's an unfortunate time to be a free agent, whether it's restricted or unrestricted.
Yeah, boy, talking to agents, it's a tough time right now getting money out of teams right now, no question about it. Hart Trophy finalists announced today, John. Nathan McKinnon, Austin Matthews, Connor McDavid. Who are you going with?
Oh, I have a bias. Connor was just so much better than anybody else in the North Division. It's interesting. After tonight, all 3 guys might not be in the playoffs. Yeah. Remember, this is a regular season award.
Yeah.
But McKinnon could be gone. Obviously, Matthews and McDavid are already gone. It puts in perspective the regular season. This is one of those years, though, guys. I think that, and it would have been for the 1 year, you wonder if they didn't make a mistake by allowing a single candidate from every division, because they never played against anybody else.
Right.
So, in other words, who was the MVP nominee for the North? Well, it was Connor. Who was it for the West? Well, it was Nathan. Who are you telling me that somebody in the Central Division, didn't have an opportunity to have an MVP year? And that, whether it was Alexander Barkov, whether it was, one of the forwards for Tampa Bay. I was going to say Kucherov, but you don't get an MVP for being on the IR. This was probably a year they probably should have had 4 finalists where all 4 divisions were represented.
I didn't think of that.
Yeah, that's true.
Before we always want to hit you with the TV question there, Mr. TV. So PK Subban, how do you think he's going to do as an ESPN hockey analyst?
I watched him last night, actually, and I thought he was fine. You know, the thing is that when you're an analyst at ESPN, you're going to get 3 minutes.
Yeah.
You're not getting 45 minutes. You're going to get 3 minutes here, 3 minutes there. And, you know, PK's always had the gift of the gab. You know, when I was at Sportsnet, we used him during one lockout on the desk, and he did fine. He's a smart guy. He's brash. He's not afraid to make some statements. If this is just a little taste of what he will do after he retires, then I think he'll be great.
John, thanks for this. We'll talk to you next Thursday.
Enjoy the winter. How's the weather?
It's a little cold.
Don't ask Rick because
I was wearing a two-glass Sunday.
Yeah.
Don't worry. I watch. I see.
Yeah.
I watch. I see. You know. You know. You guys are a national show. You're not just BBC. You're a national show. I can watch every day here. Don't. That's the magic of television these days.
You're a loyal British Columbian. Thanks, John.
Thank you, John.